What's up, fellas? It's your main man back on the scene with another video. And I've been checking out videos on the new Superman movie, and people are giving their reactions about the screenings. Film Fred, this is a good channel. Go check them out. Al Gore, he has some very good insights onto what's going on in Hollywood. But let's check these guys out. We're not gonna watch the whole thing. Matter of fact, let's speed it up some. So that we'll do that 1.25. Yeah, let's try that 1.25.
There was a test screening of Superman last week, and I know someone who was there. It took place on the Warner's lot. It was Wednesday, March 26th in the afternoon. About 60 people showed up to the lot to see a test screening of a movie. They did not know it was Superman. Peter Safran and James Gunn were in the audience. It was at the Stephen J. Ross Theater on the Warner lot. Everyone was heavily vetted to see the movie, and they got to see Superman. It is what they saw was unfinished. Some of the effects with the kaiju fight, unfinished. There was also the titles were not completely finished. I'll tell you the bullet points of what I know, but I will not tell you spoilers, and I know them, a lot of them. Here's what I know. The running time surprised me. The film is an hour and 55 minutes, so just under 2 hours. Again, not complete. It was reported earlier that the movie was over 2 hours and 20 minutes. This cut that was shown to civilians, right? This was people that were, recruited to come to test screening, saw an hour and 55 cut of the film. We know about Bradley Cooper playing Jor-El. That came out. Additionally, the performance of David Cornsweet, he is truly Superman, from what I was told. He really is just from a heart, everything. He gave a great performance. There is also Nicholas Hoult as...
So it sounds good so far. So what he's been told is that the movie is good. Like I said, you can't always go by what's floating around out there. So I want to present both sides of the argument because you really don't know.
Lex Luthor is chilling. People will die as a result of Lex Luthor's actions. He is pure evil in this movie. Again, the effects were unfinished. I was also told that while people have been concerned about there's too much in this movie, the JLI, Justice League International, Guy Gardner, whatnot, these side characters, they're not as big a part of the movie as you might glean from the trailer that we've seen. Also, we've barely seen anything about what the story is. I actually know what the story is. I will not tell you. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair. I'm not going to do that. What happened at the end of the screening, two last points I'll make. When the screening ended, it was wildly positive response from the people that were there. And someone screamed, Fantastic Four is fucked at the screening. After James Gunn and Peter Safran were overheard to be talking about the way they're promoting this, the way this film will be promoted will be big. They will do for this movie what they did for the promotion of Barbie. It will be huge promotion for this film.
They're going to need it because there's a lot of bad press out there. So they're going to need something to overcome that, to let people know that it is a good movie.
Know a lot more specifics. I don't want to say what they are, but I'll just say my faith is renewed. I think we haven't seen much of the film. I've been skeptical. I feel, again, cautiously optimistic, but hearing this firsthand makes me excited. And I'll end with this, and we'll go with, I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. James Gunn's got a pretty good track record. If you look at the Guardians movies, he was integral to the Infinity Saga, mapping that out. And you know what? The Suicide Squad, pretty good.
That's where we part ways in our opinion. I did like the first Guardians of the Galaxy. Second one, not so much. Third one, I haven't seen it yet. I just did not have the desire to go see it.
Really pretty good. And when you look at his roots in indie film, Super is one of my all-time favorite indie superhero movies. Watch Super with Rainn Wilson. It's amazing. And one last thing I forgot to say. There, a quick thing, not big spoiler, but encouraging. Jimmy Olsen in the movie apparently is hysterical. He has he has a really good character arc, and he's kind of like a Pete Davidson type, where women are always after him, but he's kind of clueless. So I love hearing this. It just the way it was described to me is like he's like Pete Davidson. He doesn't understand why all the girls like him. So, but it's great to see Jimmy Olsen treated with respect. That's what I know. I'm sure people will write about what I said here, which is fine. I know a lot of stuff I don't say, but I'm encouraged by what I hear. Additionally, Supergirl in the movie for a little bit. I don't want to say what I know about her character, but everything was very encouraging, including not just the reaction of the person I know who was there, but the entire audience, which was a small one. We'll leave it there and go to your comments. What do you guys?
Let's cut this off here, and let's go to this other video where the guy thinks it's silly. Here we go.
All right, everybody. I am back with a brand new DC update.
Hold on. Let's speed it up. All right. Let's go.
And it appears that everybody is in agreement right now that there was a Superman screening yesterday, and there has been a lot of talk about the reactions to this showing. And I'm going to show you the good, the bad. I'm going to show it all that has been being talked about on social media, and I'm going to talk about what I think is actually happening here. And I really don't think it bodes well for DC, and I don't think it bodes well for the fans either. I really think this movie is in trouble. I really do. And this is why they have been so quiet with everything. If they were confident in their product, I really think at this stage we would be bombarded by Superman stuff and things would be in full force. And it's simply not like that. And now there's even a room.
See, that's the other side of the argument. They haven't really said anything about the movie. So that makes me think that maybe it's not that good. Or they want to have that wow factor. Like, you don't really know what's going to happen. So when you sit there, it's like, wow. Because when they show too much of the movie, then it's like, yeah, this is the part that was in the commercial. Yeah, I saw this part over here in the trailer, you know. So it could go either way, but one trailer is the max. None of these second trailers and third, because you show too much of the movie. One trailer, that's it. And not all the best stuff either.
Rumor that we may not even get the trailer at the CinemaCon, that it may come on Superman Day on the 28th, and that would be like 2.5 months before the film gets released. Like, this is not good. They are hiding this film, and we haven't seen much of Superman at all. This is not a good look. But let's look at the stuff I have grabbed since yesterday. Now, I am going to get into some spoilers with a couple of these photos, and I will let you know if, you know, what I'm about to talk about might contain a spoiler if you want to go into Superman spoiler-free. This I'm going to tell you what my thoughts are. This is not a spoiler, but there is one thing in regards to Jimmy Olsen, in regards to the Superman movie, that would be considered a spoiler, and you may not want to know. I'll talk about that when we get to it. Hopefully I grab that photo. I might not have. If I haven't, I'll talk about it at the end. But this was the first thing that I grabbed. This comes from Jeff Snyder. It says there is reportedly a massive surprise cameo in Superman, described as the biggest one of the film. I personally think that this is going to be Batman. I do fully believe that right now that James Gunn is writing a Batman Superman film, World's Finest, and I do believe he's going to want to cast Batman. And so if he's in the film, he's going to cast him. I do believe that's going to be the big reveal. I don't know that for certain, but that's what I'm assuming, especially with James Gunn talking about he's already writing a script for a follow-up to Superman that is not just a Superman film. So I do believe it is a World's Finest film. And I think he's going to go stupid silly with it. I really do. So here we go. DC Film News did this morning report that Superman had a test screening last night. And we're going to look at what people had to say in regards to this screening. Now, I posted this on social media yesterday. This is, I forget her name. It's like the engineer or something like that. I'm not familiar with this character. I don't read The Authority, but I do know she's supposed to look silver, not like a human. And people were like, well, James Gunn has talked about in the Authority movie, she'll look more like her character in the comics. Why does she not look like her character in Superman? So James Gunn has never portrayed a DC character the way they are in the comic books. He bastardizes every single character he gets his hands on. And it's not a good look. This is one of the reasons I don't want him in charge of DC. and why he has to prove himself with Superman. I'm not just going to.
Yeah, I kind of have the same opinion. It's just like that Suicide Squad movie. I didn't like it at all. It was. It wasn't like, yo, I gotta see this. I'm gonna get the 4K when it comes out. I saw it one time, and that was it.
You accept that it's going to be a good movie. All right, so here is the first official quote from Superman. And you're going to find that there are different groups of people gravitating towards different quotes from the Superman screening. But this is the first one that made the rounds, and everybody who's on the positive side is saying, look, everybody loves it, everybody loves it. But we're going to see the reality of what some people are saying. Now, this came from Daniel RPK, which I don't know how accurate he is with his information, but some people say he's ultra accurate. But this DCU Hype posted, Superman has a very positive screening last night. Had a very positive screening last night. The quote from Daniel RPK is that people loved it. But Daniel RPK did come out and say some other stuff as well. So this is also what Daniel RPK did say, and I know this is a little blurry because I had to pull it off of a little picture. This is also what he said in regards to the Superman screening. He said, I can't reveal any spoilers yet, but will say one thing. It's not going to be for everyone. Movie is like a series of shorts. Very episodic, no real plot. And then he said, yeah, it's just Superman is facing one challenge after another. So it seems like Superman, maybe that first teaser trailer was going to be a true representation of this, that Superman is being beat down the whole film and maybe never really gets to be Superman. Like, if that's how this is going to be, that's going to get very, very annoying. Well, let's look at what some other people said. So My Time to Shine Hello said the reaction to the Superman test screening was decidedly mixed. Some people thought it was okay, some liked it, and others didn't. Now, what's missing from this is nobody has said that this is amazing. And this is the challenge of this film.
So we have two different reports. This is what I'm talking about. The other guy said one thing. This guy is saying something else. But I don't see anything out there that's really making me want to go see the movie. They got to give us something. The first trailer, which I don't even know what that was. There was no dialogue. It didn't really show anything. Just a little bit. What was given was nothing. Just give us a little bit to entice us to go see the movie.
This film can't be okay. It can't be, I liked it.
Exactly.
This has to be a massive hit for Warner Brothers, and it doesn't look like that is going to happen. And they clearly said others didn't like it. Here is another quote. We don't know if this is true or not. He said, this person, Arben Folstead, said, something interesting happened. I met a friend who knows someone who watched a screening of Superman. He said the guy told him one thing. When Superman showed up in his suit, a lot of people in the audience laughed and giggled. People thought it was supposed to be a joke. It's just the way the suit. I just don't like the suit.
I don't like the suit at all.
Here's another quote from viewer Anon. Just to keep expectations in check, the response I heard directly from Warner Brothers was decidedly less glowing than Daniel's original post. Not to say it went terribly, but it's a decisive film with a particularly silly tone.
Divisive.
Some people click with it. Some seem to bounce right off. So again, this kind of goes with what My Time to Shine Hello said, that nobody loved it, but that the film is pretty decisive. It has a silly...
So I'm going to cut it off there. I want to go through the whole thing. I'll link both videos in the description box below. But you have mixed reviews. On one, Chris Gore does have good insight to what's going on in Hollywood. So maybe his is more accurate. But this guy here, it does have the ring of truth behind it because they're not showing you anything. They got to make it feel like a big event. And that costume, man, come on. They have to have a better costume than that. And like I said, I like Guardians of the Galaxy, but the other stuff that James Gunn has done, I wasn't too crazy about it. It's too jokey joke. I don't like Arnold movies have a good mix of one-liners and good dialogue. You don't want a bunch of jokes through the whole movie. It takes away from it. But anyways, guys, go watch the rest of the videos. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment below. Like, share, subscribe. And I'll see you brothers in the next video. Peace.